What's going on, guys? You're watching Mr. Mike's GUNRACK. Today we're out here doing a little test. The age-old debate of what's better, the AK versus M4, will probably never be solved in my lifetime. But what I thought I'd do is a little reliability test. Everybody always says that the AK is more reliable than the AR. So what I have out here today is three different rifles. What I have is an Arsenal SLR 105. It's a 545x39 AK-74 variant rifle. I have a BCM mid-length carbine, and I have a Lwrc M6SL upper on a SIG RM400 lower. This is not the same Lwrc that we shot 10,000 rounds with. This is actually a brand new upper. So what I figured this would do for us is not only would it compare what's considered to be pretty much the best AR to the best AK, it also compare what I feel is probably one of the best piston designs out there as well. And we'll see if that has any advantages. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we got a mud hole behind us. We are going to cover the moving parts. We're going to take a shovel full of mud and plop it on there. We're going to fire it and see how they fire. And we'll do it first with the dust cover closed and the dust cover open. So we're going to start off with the BCM mid-length carbine here. I will mention that all these guns have been cleaned prior to firing. What we're going to do is we're going to put some mud on the ejection port cover, and we're going to fire 5 rounds and see how she functions. It already has a round in the chamber. And then if it works good like that, we will fire 5 more rounds with putting mud on the dust cover open. Okay, it functioned. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take with the dust cover open, and I'm going to put mud on it, and I'm going to, yeah, that's bad. She is filthy. I can see crap all over the bolt carrier, and it's functioning just fine. I'm going to dump the rest of this magazine. I don't know if there's any point in even closing the dust cover at this point. I will say that I don't see anything in the action at this point. Obviously she's covered in mud, so and there is mud in there. Alright, next we'll do the AK. First, again, with the dust cover closed. If she functions, we'll do it with the dust cover open. I will mention we were firing mil-spec ammo, 55 grain mil-spec ammo in the ARs, and 7N6 in the 5.45. Okay, she fired like that. Now we're going to do it with the dust cover open. There we go. Surprisingly, she functioned. I'm going to dump the rest of this magazine. No problems. Next, we're going to do it with the Lwrc M6SL. And first with the dust cover closed, again. Problems. Trying to get that good soupy stuff. Alright, now we're going to do it with the cover open. No problems. I will say this looks cleaner than the BCM does, actually. Maybe it's that coating on this stuff. The stuff doesn't want to stick to it. I'm going to fire the last few rounds in here. Well guys, there you have it. Nothing failed. I don't know, maybe our mud's not right. Maybe we need better mud, higher quality mud, or lower quality mud. Maybe the mud here in Western Washington is just better on firearms. I don't know. So both these guns functioned. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, so we loaded the mags back up. I would, like an idiot, left my 5.45 loaded mags at home and only brought 7.62 by 39 mags with me. So we're going to skip the AK. We'll just assume it's supremely reliable and nothing ever goes wrong with an AK. And we will try the same test. Right now there's a round in the chamber, safety on. We're going to lay them in some muddy water and see what happens. We're going to try to keep the muzzles out of the water because we don't need to blow up any guns today. These things are filthy, so let's see what happens. By the way, you probably can't tell, but this is the Lwrc M6SL on the SIG RM400 lower. Whoa, that safety's gritty. Yeah, she's not happy. I think we're going to go ahead and say that there's too much crap in here. The Lwrc is no longer functioning. In its defense, this is pretty terrible. I mean, I'm covered in it. So we're going to say that she's not working here. Yeah, the bolt carrier don't want to go home, and it's hanging up on that. Maybe we'll revisit that with a different mag. Maybe it's the GI mag. But for right now, we're gonna set her aside. Okay. Same thing with the BCM. We're gonna throw her in the mud. She is muddy and filthy, and I'm not looking forward to cleaning this when I get home. So dust cover's open again. Safety is on. Trying real careful not to get anything down that muzzle. Okay, here we go. Huh! The BCM's still working, and it don't even have a piston. Let's do it again. Maybe we can make it fail. I'm grinding it into the mud. Oh yeah, she's sloppy. So I had to tap rack once, and there is a lot of crud in that chamber. I can see it. There's a lot of crud inside the receiver. But the BCM, other than that one tap rack incident, we ran fine. Okay, while we're at it, I have the rest of the mag that was in the Lwrc. I figure we'll run it too. Maybe we'll rule out a magazine issue. Okay, I had to tap rack a couple times. I don't know if it wasn't going all the way into the battery. I wasn't really looking. I was just fixing the problem. God, I didn't think this through. Okay, we haven't done anything to the Lwrc since I put it down after it failed. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to maybe try to get some of the crud out of here. I don't know if it's really doing anything. It feels bad. We got a P-mag here, so we'll see maybe if it runs a little better on a P-mag, because it did seem like it was having a hard time. Yeah. It is going home with the forward assist. Click, no bang. Failure to feed. So what it's doing right now is it's short stroking. Time it didn't even go all the way back. It's got a hold of the round, but that was the empty case. I think we're going to call this one. Whatever's going on with this gun, nothing's impervious to any crap in the chamber. So I kind of have a feeling that's what's going on. You got crud in the chamber, or whatever reason, it's not giving it enough oomph to push it back. So we'll take these guns apart on the trunk, and we'll kind of on the tailgate, and we'll see what's going on inside of them. So these guns are pretty filthy. I'm pretty filthy. I didn't think that through very well, exactly how that was going to work. As you can see, that's some sticky, goopy, nasty mud. See the bolt carrier here on the LWRC's got a bunch on it. And I can feel it. It's not, right when you unlock it, it's pretty sticky. One thing I'm curious about with the LWRC is what the piston's going to look like. But first what we'll do here is we'll pop the lower off the upper. Ugh. And pins are this SIG RM400's got a little tensioning deal inside of it. Well, here, I'll have my helper here undo that. We'll take the BCM apart first. So BCM still feels really smooth. We had a couple of issues with I had to tap rack it. Nothing major. I didn't have to mortar it or anything. So we'll take the pins out of this guy and see how she turned out. These pins are really tight because they're covered in mud. Oh, having issues here. Ouch. Okay, get the lower off here. Alright, inside the lower you can see there's plenty of mud in there. I don't know what's in the buffer, if there's anything in the buffer, but I mean, she's pretty dirty inside there. Bolt carrier group. You know, I mean, it's covered in mud. What can I say? I see lots of mud in there. Charging handle looks okay. It doesn't look like there's a ton inside the gun. And I won't be able to get this on camera, but the chamber area, I mean, there's a little bit of stuff in there, but it actually looks fairly clean. So we'll set the BCM off to the side. Got the LWRC M6SL upper, and holy cow, there's a lot more crud in that lower than there was in the BCM. I can see that right now. These pins are really tight, so I'm not going to take that off, but doesn't even want to open. Yeah, she's pretty filthy. That coating does a pretty good job of keeping stuff from sticking to it, though, I will say. You know, it doesn't look like there's the same level of crap on that than there was on the BCM. Charging handle's really dirty. Inside the receiver, there is definitely more gunk inside the star chamber than what was inside the BCM. That's just all there is to it. So, I'd like to see what this piston system looks like. A rock or something just fell out of there. See if I can get this piston off on camera. Oh, my hands are so slippery. The piston itself looks pretty clean. We didn't really dump anything on the piston. I wasn't really worried about doing that just because it's such an open design. It's just a rod that goes through, so unless something gets in between the piston and the cup, but it's a relatively sealed system, the piston is. So, and it's tight where it goes in the receiver too, so I don't know. Looks okay. Looks dirty. So I don't know if we really proved anything today, guys. I brought one magazine for this gun and a bunch of magazines loaded full of ammo that do not fit it. I have a feeling it would have probably had something go wrong with it had we put it in the watery mud. I don't know, maybe our mud wasn't wet enough, muddy enough, I don't really know. But this gun ran fine, the AK did. So BCM ran good. I had a couple tap racks, but I mean, these things are filthy and they look just as bad on the inside as they do on the outside. One thing I will say about the BCM that I think might have had something to do with why it got less in the chamber. Now, this was not a scientific test whatsoever. We weren't measuring the mud. We weren't measuring the viscosity of the mud. We made a mud hole and we shoveled it on the gun. So, I mean, this really doesn't prove a whole bunch, but what I kind of suspect is a mil-spec bolt carrier group is round. It's shaped like the receiver. So it performs a pretty tight seal through here, at least tight as it can be and still run. Also, the gas guns in general, the direct impingement system, vents gas out the side of the bolt carrier every time you fire that. So I have a feeling that aids in blowing some of the crap off the side of the gun. Whether or not that makes a huge difference in this particular test, I'm not sure. The Lwrc, she is muddy. She's still a little sticky. We never did get to run. They shape their bolt carrier differently. It's more of a hexagon type shape on the side there, so it forms less of a seal. Also, there's a gap you can see back here, which could potentially let crap in the gun. Overall, it's just not quite as tight as a mil-spec gun, and there's no gas venting out the side of the receiver to help blow some of that crap off the receiver. Are pistons more reliable than direct impingement guns? I don't know. This wasn't a scientific test, like I said. We basically played in the mud with guns today, and one of them shit the bed, one of them had a couple malfunctions, and the other one, well, it still runs, but we didn't put as many rounds through it as I would have liked to. So, anyways, guys, we're going to wash up these guns. You good? Yeah, they're a little bit dirty. Quick clean off. Wash them off a little bit. I feel like I need to go in.